Stephen, how big a challenge is this game against the ranked number 2 in the world, this French side at home, and all the threats that they possess? How big a challenge? Is it the biggest challenge you faced as Ireland manager?
I would say it is, yes. I would say that's most likely accurate. France have been to the last 2 World Cup finals. They won the World Cup, and then obviously lost last year on penalties to win 2 World Cups in a row. So they're definitely within the 2 best teams in the world, as you say, if not the best. And we have obviously respect their talent, and to come into their backyard, into their home arena, and play them presents a stiff challenge, and one that we understand is difficult, but we're very excited by it as well, and we understand that it's an opportunity for us.
And what makes you think you can get a special result over not just tomorrow, but also against the Netherlands? Because once the draw was made, these 2 fixtures were always going to be pivotal, weren't they?
Yeah, no. Listen, we knew we got the most difficult of groups, but I have every confidence in the players, and they showed their quality in the game against France in Dublin, which was a very even affair. In the game in Dublin was quite even overall. France had more possession than we did, for sure, but chances created was pretty even. So it's different coming to France, coming to Paris. We understand that. It's a different challenge. Obviously, we're missing several of our players, but that increases the motivation, because we know that we're up against it, but we increases the motivation to go and put in a strong performance, and that's certainly our intention.
Thank you.
Lee Heath, please.
Stephen, how are you doing? Just with John making the plane, could you give us an update on Andrew's status in the squad? He didn't travel with the team, did he?
Andrew's here. Yeah, he had a family bereavement. Which is sad. So, his granddad died. So he was at home yesterday, but he's here today.
And then I was going to ask you about John. He's here as well, so maybe you can both shed in some information just in terms of coming to terms with making a decision on fitness ahead of a game. Is there something as simple as like doing a fitness test before the game, or is there a conversation that you need to have between the 2 of you in terms of John knowing his body better than anyone else in his experience?
Yeah, I think. Do you know your body? Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's all right. I think he seems to know. He's obviously John's captain of Sheffield United. Also, he's very, very proud, and for him to come off last Saturday, he's never done that before. I don't recall. So for him to come off in a game like that, he was obviously struggling, and he's had to get intensive treatment over the week, and obviously hasn't partaken in full training yet. So we're due to train this evening, and we're hoping that he goes well, that he's okay, and that he can play tomorrow.
Damien Spellman, please.
Stephen, just talking about Evan's withdrawal and going back to the start of your reign when you lost Adam Eder and Aaron Connolly for the Slovakia game and issues you've had to deal with in between. Do you feel you're due a stroke of good luck at some point?
No, I don't really look at it like that. I think I'm very privileged to manage Ireland. I'm very privileged, and we've got. I think one of the things about the situation is because we've obviously in the attacking players that are missing, 5 of them: Michael Obafemi, Troy Parrott, Mikey Johnson, Callum Robinson. And we're missing 5 players. So I think I've left someone out there. It'll come to me now in a moment. But the 5 players that were missing, Evan Ferguson, of course, yeah. The 5 players are missing. But I think because we've given 18 players their debut in that period over the last 2 years, it's increased the level of squad depth, and it means that we still have a strong team. And I'm happy with the team that we have tomorrow night. I'm very happy with it. And I'm happy with the options that we have. And I think that's it's an unusual situation to have those players obviously injured. Some of them are out long term, but it's I'm happy with the squad, the team that we have, and we're excited about the game. We know many people don't give us much of a chance to understand why. We understand that, but we're going to give ourselves every opportunity and to prepare well and perform to the level that we need to put in a really strong performance tomorrow night.
And John, as a defender, did you have to be excited about coming up against the likes of Kylian Mbappe, and what are the particular challenges of that?
Yeah, listen, we know they're a top team, but we just have to embrace these games. I think we embraced it in Dublin, put in a really good performance that we can take a lot of confidence from. I think we deserved the draw that night, and if it wasn't for the keeper's world-class save at the end, we might well have got that. But yeah, listen, as defenders, as players, as a squad, we just have to embrace it. It's one of the toughest games you can have in international football coming here against France. So, we know we're going to have to perform to our maximum to get a result. But, we've got a lot of belief in ourselves and as a squad, and, we're always brilliantly prepared for games. So, we just have to make sure that we go out there and perform to the best of our ability.
This gentleman down here.
Bonsoir, une question pour coach. Je m'autorise à changer de ballon en quelques secondes. France-Irlande demain en foot, mais c'est la Coupe du Monde de rugby en France. Est-ce que vous rêvez d'une finale Irlande-France, et est-ce que pour vous l'Irlande est supérieure à la France en rugby?
Regarding the Rugby World Cup, Ireland have done brilliantly, and they've obviously deserved their number one status in the world, and they've come with a strong chance of competing for the trophy. They've said that themselves, and they're confident of that. So France are obviously very good as well. So it'll be two of the main teams in contention.
Gavin Cooney, please.
Hi, Stephen. Just to check, have you any other injury concerns, or?
I don't. We've a couple of people with different strains and so forth, and one or two that will sit out tonight. But I think everyone should be okay.
Who are they?
Queeveen will sit out tonight, and we have to see how Ryan Manning is as well, just on the strain. But I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, and just lastly from me, Stephen, you spoke last week when we met you about having to get creative at right wing back in Seamus and Matt's absence. Could one of your centre backs do that job? And you've got kind of a lot of centre backs picked in the squad. Yeah,
that's a strong consideration, obviously, and that's something that we have to consider. And that is there's a few players that are in contention, few players that can possibly play there. So that's something to consider. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Final question of the live section.
It's a question for the coach. I got the feeling that these last few months, your team has conceded a lot of goals on a long shot range. Is it something that you worry about, and maybe that you specifically work on? Or?
Yeah, well, I think it's not in the last couple of months, probably last year more so than in the last couple of months, apart from Pavard's shot, which was on the edge of the box, and it was a great goal, to be fair. Pavard's goal was a great goal. But it has been an issue conceding goals from long range, all right. That has been an issue over the last year, and something that we're keen to address.